Hey everyone, how's it going? Rich here. Just coming back to you guys with a Gunsmith update. I know it's been a while, and I know we have been aiming to go for 1.0 launch, but we're just going to have to push it back a bit, I think, because we've had so much on, and I've had some interesting developments with the business as a whole, which hopefully I can announce soon, but I can't say anything at the moment. But apart from that, I just wanted to go over Gunsmith really because I've been thinking about what I want to put in this 1.0, and we've been doing a lot of work, and I'll show you the content stuff we've done over the last weeks and months, etc. Since we announced 1.0 and just the new things we want to put in. So yeah, basically that's really what I want to do today, is just go over that kind of stuff. And I'm just going to have a mess around here and just really go over a couple of things, because what I've been doing is going through the game and basically seeing why, after listening to the feedback right from saying we want a 1.0, people are saying it needs a lot of polish. And what I've seen is the following things, because what I want to try and do is clear up with the community where this polish is needed, like where I feel it's needed, and like, you know, where they feel it's needed, and just realistically like work that all out, because at the moment it's a bit like, where is the polish needed in the balance? Because I read some people saying the balance is there, but then I read that some people are like, oh, it's okay. So, you know, it's a really strange one for me, because I think there's been some stuff done with the belts in this new version. Let me just check. It's a really strange one for me because why can't I link this? Come on. I think we're making some improvements to them, that's why. Yeah, so it's a strange one for me because I do think, like, why? I can't find a consistency in what people want. Some people want balance improvements. Some people are okay with the balance improvements, with the current balance, sorry. Other people want more content. We know people want more content. That's a simple one, right? So that's okay. And I'll show you the new content that's coming, because ultimately that we know that is what people want. So that's absolutely fine. But what I really would like to know is from the community as we go forward with finalising the game, is really why is this doing this? That should be a double click, but it's not. I think someone has been messing around with the game before I've come to do this video. Yeah, stuff's placing fine. So yeah, what I wanted to just work out is like why, and ultimately I'm just going to ask you your feedback here, like, because what we want to do is as we continue to reach towards this 1.0, and I have heard everyone's feedback. So I've heard everyone's feedback, right? And everyone's saying polish it more, do more things before 1.0, and that's fine, but I have to define what it is that needs the polish. So it's really hard for me to work out what that is, when some people are like, this is good, and then some people are like, the same thing is bad. So what the real issue is like trying to define that exact, like, what needs improvement, or is it just some people don't like this and others do? So that's really the problem, right? What I have noticed, UI complaints have gone. They are going. So I presume that all of this UI stuff we've changed here, and we've matured all of that over time. I think that's good. People are, from what I understand, are not happy with the fact there's no end game. Apart from the obvious, you know, the actual win conditions that we put in. People want some more content, and we're doing that. People also are not happy with the actual balance output on items. So that's something that I am gonna change. I will rebalance the game again and put that up for a test. I think that's what I'm gonna do, is I'm gonna balance it again, balance the whole game, and make sure that the finances all, because the problem is it's so huge now that balancing it is quite difficult. But I'm going to load a game and see if this actually is oh, loading in the editor, not a good idea. Let's have a go. I'm going to balance the game again. Yeah, insta crash. What I will do is I'll swap over to the warehouse and show you what's going on in here. I'm going to balance the game again, and then I'm going to go. I've read the list of suggestions in the Discord. I've read the list of suggestions on the Steam forums. There's a lot of people saying it needs polish, but not pointing out where. And the people that there are definitely some things where people are saying valid. Definitely a lot of valid stuff. So I'm like, okay, that's totally cool. But then there's other things where it's valid, but then also people are contradicting that, and they're saying some people like it, some people don't. So really, it's about where we land and where we want to take it. I think that's probably the best thing we can do. I'm always listening to feedback, but in this scenario, there's a few things that are obvious. There's a few things that I'm reading that multiple people are saying, right, that I agree with, and we need to fix and polish it up for 1.0, right? There's other things where I'm like, there is constructive criticism here, but I can't point to what they are saying and what they're doing, right? So like it's not what they're doing. So what they're actually, what am I polishing? What comes out to that person is it needs polish, because the two things I can get are the balance and the like the prices, the balance, the way the game plays, and the end game and stuff like that, right? What I really need to do, because I'm trying to work out what is annoying people, so we can fix all of that for 1.0. And in the meantime, I'll just say that this is all the new content that is coming out for the 1.0 update. I am gonna 1.0 the game. I have to at this point. It's been too long. If it means we need to delay it and keep polishing it, fine. I don't mind that. But it's got to the point now where this game is too matured to be an early access title. That people do play it for hundreds of hours. There's over 500 items to craft. It's time for us to at least get to 1.0. I think the thing is that people need to remember is that 1.0 does not mean that, you know, it's done and gone. It just means that we've reached a stage where we feel that the vast majority of the features are in there, and now we're going to support it post-launch. Because the vast majority of features are in there. I think there may be one or two more major features that I want to add or tweak, but then that is it really, and I want to do that for the 1.0 update. There may be some other features in there that we can add post-launch, but I think that like the reality is, I feel like I've got to launch it, because also we need a bit more, like we need some more visibility on the game. We need to kind of revive it a bit more. I can't just keep continually updating it in early access when it doesn't have much traction. So I need to play like both. I need to play my cards right, if you know what I mean, guys. So like it's not just me as a, you know, developer trying to rush it out the door or anything. Obviously everyone knows we haven't rushed this. It's been years in the making. But yeah, so basically it's when you're making games, when you're running an indie company, it's like you have to really, it's just like a game of like, it's like a game of Uno. You're constantly putting cards down, picking cards up. You know, one day you're like, oh, okay, I'm about to win the game, and I'm almost, you know, I've almost smashed it. And then the next day you've got 50 cards in your hand, and you're like, we're done. Do you know what I mean? So it's really tricky. It's very tricky. So yeah, it's a tricky one. And the reality is that the games we've made have never popped off enough to complete, with like financially complete them. You'll see that there's some, like we wanted to make massive games, and Gunsmith is a massive game, right? And you'll see that on our store page it's like 900 reviews or something. Now that's still a lot of copies, and it's still a lot of money. But if this was a 2D like platformer or something, then that probably would be enough to see you across the line. But because we've made an intricate 3D factory-based manufacturing game with like all these different items and NPCs and all of that, that it needs to blow up even harder. You know, it needs to be more like, to be honest with you, for Gunsmith to like really have grossed enough for us to go for what we envisioned, we really need to be around about the 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 review level. That's the kind of reviews and player numbers you'd need to finish this game. So it's one of those things where we're, you know, I feel like it could do it. I really feel like, you know, if we had like some support or a publisher or something, maybe that would help on this game. But we didn't get one, right? So we self-published. That may be something we change in the future. It may be something that I might have an announcement on soon. I'm not sure really, but I think something like that would really help. It's getting really hard. It's getting really hard now to support the titles. It's getting very hard to launch a game on Steam. I think it's the hardest it's ever been, honestly. But I digress. Drones, artillery, tank shells, landmines, AP mines, and C4. Different bullet rounds, higher calibers. They're all coming for the 1.0. Very happy with the drone. Gonna make a couple of these. We have the different types of tank ammunition. They will also have their own line. Missiles will be coming in 1.0. Also going to add some more infantry equipment, so I feel like we probably need to add some scopes, some binoculars, things like that. But these are just the things that are going in for now, so you're going to have at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 more items, 11 more items. The missiles will have their own manufacturing line, the drones will have their own manufacturing line, landmines and all of that will have their own one too, and obviously the tank rounds. So there's 5 more manufacturing lines going in, 10 more items going in there at least. Plus we'll have some more scenarios, and we'll be finishing all the other systems that we're, you know, are not too happy with and want to do some tweaks on. So all in all, 1.0 I think will be really good. What I want to just define before we really push for that, and this is why I'm going to push it back maybe 6 to 8 weeks, I think, is that what I'm going to do is I am going to go and once again I'm going to play this game again from start to finish, and I'm going to write my own list of notes again. Obviously I've been doing this for years, but I'm going to do it one more time. And then I'm also going to go to the community and go to you guys and be like, right, what is this needs polishing? How do we break that down? What is the exact thing that needs polish, right? I see there's definitely a lot of things I've already written down and a lot of feedback from players and stuff that have given me that feedback, and some of it's clear. Need to adjust some of the balance, need to make the end game more motivational, those kind of things. I get that, but what I can't, this is the thing, like when you're developing a game and you've got almost a 50-50, some people are saying it needs this, it needs that, other people are saying they like that, and you've got that kind of like inconsistency in what is actually what's annoying people and what people are enjoying. Maybe it's just something needs a tweak or an improvement. Belts, for example, I saw someone in the comment reading about belts. Belts obviously is something that we have constantly improved over the years. In fact, I think we're one of the only companies that has both physical and spline based belts. So, you know, it's something we're good at, and I feel like we're very close to having a belt system that is really good. We obviously have a couple of things there which are affecting usability that we need to really nail, and once we do that, I will be really happy with that, because it will be, you know, this game, it'll be, you know, 5 years of polishing and refining how that system works, and it ain't easy, and it really is a complicated thing to have the spline belts and everything connecting and all of that kind of stuff. And you know, like, I know people like Coffee Stain and Satisfaction make it look easy, but if you give me like 20 million and, you know, 50 people, I'll make it look easy too. So you know, for a company of our size, we punch well above our weight in our tech department, and like, although it takes us a long time, we definitely are super proud of what we make here. It's a lot more bespoke, and you know, it's cool. But I think I'll wrap it up there. So yeah, I am going to delay the 1.0. I don't think anyone really minds. You've all asked me to do that anyway, so I'm going to agree with you guys, and I'm going to basically say, okay, you know what? This is the same situation as the belts. We need a bit more time, I think, to polish whatever people are identifying. We've identified some things that we're working on, but in order to 1.0 it, I feel like I need to nail down exactly what these things are. So can I just make a request to anyone that's going to say it needs polish? My only request to you is, please tell me where you think it needs polish, so I can go and look at what you're talking about. Because if anyone says in the comments, oh, please delay it because it needs polish, I can't go and find the problem that you have. And my job is to listen to your feedback, basically, and to you know, and to go and relay it out to the team and go through the design and implement that. That all takes time, and what I need to do is be able to go through the forums and stuff, and this is for any game, by the way. If any of you want to leave any feedback on any game, the developer might not reply. Like, we reply quite frequently, right? The developer might not reply, but they'll definitely read it. Someone will be reading it, so your message won't go unheard unless it's a really egregious company where they just don't care at all and they don't read the forums, right? But the majority of them do, and I feel like if you ever say like it needs polish, it may do, but just tell the dev where. Tell the dev what your biggest problem is, because the more people that specifically say what a problem is, the higher it goes on my list, right, of obvious things that need to change or need to be looked into. And then that allows me to develop the game way faster, because I can come in and go, this has been brought up 10 times, fix this first, right? So that is what I kind of need. Now, obviously, our community in Discord and on the forums and stuff, it's super helpful, and I've read all of that feedback. I've read a lot of stuff about the end game items you guys want. I've read a lot of stuff about how the actual end game you guys would like, how the balance is and the economy and things like that. Some people not happy with the start of the game, something that's constantly crucified me over the years. I think I don't know why. I may just have to go back to the drawing board on the start of the game and make it even simpler, because something annoys people there, and we need to just have like a proper couple of hours to dedicate on why that is, and what people are getting annoyed with. I'll put up some screenshots of like the cool artillery stuff in the Steam announcement and all of that. But I think what I'll do is, just because I've got to go and visit some family today, and maybe short on time, I might just upload the YouTube video, put that up really quickly, just so you guys have got an update and you know what's going on. So yeah, that's the plan. And there's been and what I will say as well is that I'm kind of transitioning in the company to the point where, well, I'm overwhelmed with the amount of work that I have to do, right? And anyone who works at my company will tell you how much work I have. Like, I have about 7 jobs, right? And it's becoming absolutely impossible for me to do community outreach at this point. I basically, to give you an idea of what I do, I will do the designs for what's going in the game. I will make the soundtrack. I'll do the special effects, so all the particle effects. I will do the game balance. I will then do marketing. I will also do various other things. I obviously have to do the accounting at the end of every month. So like, it's just, and that's probably not even everything. It's probably just a few things that I can think of. So my job is not singular. It's like multi-rolled, and I'm overwhelmed, basically. I'm just going to be frank here. I'm totally overwhelmed. So what I might be looking at doing, guys, is basically getting someone to help with the community stuff, someone else who can make the videos and communicate better what we're doing than I can. You know, I'm quite a private person. I don't like being a media personality. I'm a creative person, but I'm very private, and I'm very like, you know, unless I've had a couple of beers, I'm quite a reserved person. So, you know, it's probably not my best role being here. It probably doesn't serve the community well enough. Like, I've been talking for nearly 20 minutes. Some people like the in-depth chats. I'm sure a lot of people don't have 20 minutes to waste on me waffling about a game. It could probably be more succinct, and then my messages to the community could probably be better if I just let someone else who's better with doing media do that kind of stuff. But then obviously this is a catch-22 when you make the team bigger and you get people on board. But if anyone's interested in helping me specifically with community stuff, if they like making videos, if they want to help my business and our little indie company grow and be successful, that'd be great. Please feel free to reach out, because we're looking for people who can help with that. I'll wrap it up here though, guys. This is what we got so far in terms of what's definitely going in for 1.0. Like I say, you've got 10 more items, lots of explosives, missiles and drones. These will probably go on the medium lines, and these can still go on the smalls, but there's more than that as well. There's also an Abrams tank, or Abrams tank like lookalike, which will be one of the vehicles that goes in as well. This was one we based it off. We have our own custom one that we're making. If it loads, this one's quite I think people may have seen this in the vehicle map. It's like this, but we've got our own particular one that comes in all of its component parts, right? So you will have the ability to make an actual main battle tank as well, for 1.0. So yeah, happy with that. That'll be going in the vehicle line. Looks super cool. So you have the main MBT and all these extra bits, and plus there'll be more coming as well. So yeah, 1.0 will be cool, but I think we need to just push it back and identify what these things are, because I don't want 1.0 to be a situation where people are still annoyed at certain things, and I'm sure you guys don't want that either. And I'm always listening to the feedback, and I always take it on board seriously. So yeah, we're just going to do it right. It may take a bit longer than we'd hoped, but we'll get there eventually, like we always do, guys. And I think it's also important that like people, I don't think people, most people do, but I don't think some people really understand how far this game has come. Like, people really, if anyone is out there being like, oh, because I've read a couple of comments about basically people saying, oh, this game, it needs more updates or whatever, like it, or like, the devs I have read one thing where it's like the devs are lazy and stuff like that. I'm like, I don't really take that kind of stuff on board. If you're going to say that, it doesn't really add anything to your argument, because I know it's not true. And also, like, over the last 5 years, I think people need to go and dig out like the very first video we put up. We got this game from nothing, right? Nothing. We built it from absolutely nothing at all, and we built all this new tech. We put hundreds of items in. In Gunsmith, you have the ability to custom make a factory, paint the walls, manufacture tons of items. We're one of the only games that supports both physical and spline-based belts in gameplay. We've got NPCs that work in the factory. There's just so much stuff. There's just so much stuff in this game, and that's all happened over a long period, right? It's not something that can happen overnight. Not for a company of our size. We need for a game that's basically, it's a huge game. It's like a Paradox title. That's the only way I can describe it. For something like that, I feel like we've done really well there. Obviously, if you have more resources, you can get things done quicker. But we're a tiny company, so things take a bit longer. But I'm extremely proud of where this game is, and I can't wait to get it to that point where we're happy with the 1.0. I feel like we're getting close. I need to work out what these final problems are, because they're not obvious anymore. I'm seeing 50-50s, I'm seeing like 60-40s. I'm not seeing, like, when the UI was bad, put it this way, when the UI was bad, there were so many people saying UI. I knew something had to be done about UI, and so many people kept saying it that we were like, right, let's spend a lot of time here. But now people are asking for polish, but it's not the same resonance. It's not the same, like, this is exactly what needs to be polished. So it's now tougher. It's tougher to find that problem, right? So yeah, last shout basically, because I'll wrap it up here. I know I said I'd wrap it up here like 10 minutes ago, but if you do want something changed, let me know specifically what, and then when I can tally that all up and I can do a deep dive on all these things, on the balance and on the final parts of the game, we can address that, and it'll be way better. But yeah, I hope you have a good week again, guys. This is going to be a really quick one for me. I'm just going to smash this on YouTube with almost zero editing, so I've really got to go visit some family. Yeah, I'll keep you posted. But we're going to make it awesome. We're going to make the 1.0 awesome. Thanks, guys. I'll see you soon.